All right, it's one of the mainstream destroy Trump media's favorite tactics, all to prevent you from getting the whole story. Now, it's called bias of omission, and today it was on full display. Now, despite the bombshell revelations in the Grassley-Graham memo and some pretty damning text messages from FBI officials, lovers, Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, well, the mainstream media is utterly silent. Here's the reaction. Founder, managing partner, Skybridge Capital. I'm sorry, Anthony, I'm not Bill Maher. You're not on a liberal show tonight, all right?
Hey, there were Republicans attacking me, Sean. It wasn't liberals. That's the crazy part about it.
That's actually true. You take heat from all comers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And the author of The Smear, How Shady Political Operatives and Fake News Controls What You See, What You Think, and How You Vote. The anchor of Full Measure, Sharyl Attkisson, is back with us. All right, Anthony, to me, I think Joe DeGenev is right, and I've been saying it. This is the biggest corruption scandal in the history, perhaps, modern-day politics. It is so makes Watergate look like stealing a Snickers bar.
The problem with it, you're calling it that now, but we still got another 10 layers to drill into and rip off more skin. And so once you get really, really deep, Sean, it's absolutely uncontrollable. And so what's going to happen now, they're going to make a pincher movement. You should read the manifesto, the best-selling book by Sharyl Attkisson. She'll describe to you what they're going to do to everybody. They're going to flatten up everybody, dehumanize them. They're going to try to criminalize the process of finding out the criminals. And it's a nightmare for the American people. But I'm glad you're exposing it, Sean. You're doing a big service, a patriotic service. And you're protecting the president who honestly won the election despite all of this nonsense that was happening in the politicization of these agencies.
In many ways, Sharyl, you have been a victim of all of this. It was almost a year ago on this program, we broke the story right here with Sarah Carter and John Solomon, who've done phenomenal work about how, yeah, they got a FISA warrant against Donald Trump. Donald Trump tweets out that, oh, they wiretapped me, and the media went crazy. Turns out everything and much more, we've been literally unpeeling layers of an onion here with real facts and information. The media's gone with a story about Russia-Trump collusion with zero evidence for a year, and they, by omission, don't cover these stories. Why?
Well, just to amend one thing, I don't know that they had a FISA warrant directly on Donald Trump. I haven't seen evidence that they did. They may
Carter
have
Page
used
in the Trump. Right. Go ahead.
They may have used warrantless techniques. There's all kinds of ways. I was told even before Donald Trump announced for office that intel officials, and I was told this by insiders, have sometimes been using bad information to bring to the FISA court to wrap up other people that are the true targets that they can't get a warrant against, but to wrap them up in incidental targeting different ways without maybe a direct warrant.
Isn't that what happened to General Flynn, based on what we know? Isn't that what happened to poor General Flynn?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think from what we know in news reporting and what we've learned since then is that they, under the auspices of listening to a Russian official, the ambassador from Russia to the United States, they then accidentally captured somebody who may have been allegedly their true target and someone that they hoped would lead them to mischief.
The bottom line is you've got one presidential candidate that pays for a phony Russian dossier. None of it's verified. And she's also, Christopher Steele's being fed from Clinton's own associates. Then they don't tell a FISA judge the facts of who bought and paid for this phony dossier that's unverified. And then it's used to get a FISA warrant. And you're right about incidental unmasking and leaking raw intelligence. And the media, for the most part, there's been a blackout. Isn't that true?
I think there has largely been a lack of curiosity and a lack of accurate and thorough reporting on one side of this issue. There's been plenty representing one viewpoint, but very little on the other side, except to the extent that it debunks. And I think that part of the reason for that is there is a much bigger scandal under the surface, and some people know this, which is, in my view, not that they were going after President Trump perhaps during the campaign, but why? Because unlike what they thought would happen if Jeb Bush were elected or Hillary Clinton, there are some inside the intelligence community who've been there for more than one administration who feared that Donald Trump could bring in people who would peel back the layers and see the allegedly improper and illegal surveillance techniques they've implemented for a long time.
So
deep state, Anthony Scaramucci, deep state gate.
Yeah, but I mean, my question to the American people is how much longer are we going to tolerate this? My question is also to every one of us out there that see this happening. How do we deal with these people, Sean? Because Sharyl, myself, and you all know how ruthless they are, how diabolical they are, and they'll stop at anything to stop honest people from uncovering them.
Well, you mean like what Anthony?
Yeah, exactly.
What Chuck Schumer said, they'll get you 6 ways in Sunday, and what this guy on fake news CNN saying, they're going to win?
Yeah, exactly. That monster on that was saying that we're around for 100+ years and you're around for 13 months. This is sort of nonsense. The American people have to understand that their government is there to serve them. We are not here to serve the people that work in the government. They are our servants, and they need to be held accountable for the nonsense that's going on right now.
Last word, Sharyl Attkisson.
Well, I think there's much more to come, and we should be looking at the big picture, not necessarily all the minutia that distracts us.
All right, guys, thank you both. Mooch, good to see you. Welcome back, my brother. We appreciate you coming on. Sharyl, good to see you.